Hey guys, it's Sharice Turman with eXp Realty in Connecticut. I'm a licensed Connecticut realtor. And today's video, we're going to be talking about working with a buyer agent. Yes, so if you're in the market to buy in 2022, you're going to want to stick around for this video because it's going to walk you through sort of the premise, right? Sort of setting that stage with working with an agent. And it's important to know who you are teaming up with. I say teaming up with because it takes a team, it takes a village to get you to the closing table. So you really want to make sure that you're aligning yourself with the right person that's right for you. Not every agent is going to be right for you. Not every buyer is going to be right for me. So it's really important that we have sort of that exploratory conversation. We set the stage to understand each other's how we work and what to expect, right? And then you decide whether that person's right for you. I always say, find that one, right? It's kind of like dating. To be honest, it's kind of like dating. You want to make sure it's a compatible relationship and that, you can get to the goal with this person. So stick around for this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, but also hit the bell because I'm going to be posting about all things real estate. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So one of the major pillars of my business and I highly regard is communication. And that's something my clients really appreciate about me, is that I am an effective communicator. I'm not only responsive, but I also communicate and make sure that my clients are informed, right, all throughout the process. But before we jump ahead, you really just want to establish how are we going to communicate. Now, most of my clients, probably 99% of them, prefer texting. We text back and forth, and that's cool with me. Now, someone may prefer to jump on a call. That's totally okay with me too. So it's really important to establish what to expect there and make it work, right? And so I have a responsibility to my clients, and then my clients have a responsibility to me as well to make sure that I have what I need, and obviously, vice versa. So understanding communication and, what's acceptable, what's reasonable. So some agents might prefer you to only communicate between 9 and 5. I don't know. That's their preference. That's how they run their business. And others might be a little bit more flexible. Now, I'm on the more flexible side. I am a night owl, so I tend to be up late sometimes. So if my client does text me late, and I'm awake, I'm not going to wake up to text back, but if I'm awake, I will text back and make sure that, I've clarified something or whatever it was that they wanted to know. So it's important to establish that up front as to what to expect. Now, if you call or text and I'm with a client, if I can pause and at least let you know that, I'm, on a tour or I'll get back to you, I will let you know I will get back to you. But the bottom line is, you will hear back from me in the same day, right? You won't have to wait days and days and days to get a response. That is not my style. And I know personally, if I was a buyer, I would go crazy if that was the case. So that is not my style. I like to make sure that clients hear back from me, usually within the hour if I can, or at least by the end of that day. But you nonetheless will hear back. Sometimes, I'll be able to respond, the answer back right away. All good, all cool. So it's important to know that. One of the other things about working with an agent is also, they're going to be your resource. You don't buy houses every day. We're in this business every day. So we have connections and contacts. So it's important that you work with someone who can recommend good services to you. And so, your inspector, obviously, once your offer is accepted and you're super excited, you're going to want to find out, well, who am I going to hire, right? That's usually the next question. And so I have, servicers who are, great servicers who I can align you with, and you decide who you want to hire. It's not up to me, it's up to you because you're paying for it and it's the property that you plan to buy. So I like to make sure that clients are aligned with good people who are really great at what they do, right? I tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist. I am not perfect. There's no perfect person, but I do like to make sure that if my past clients have had great experiences or good experiences with someone, I like to make sure I keep that person in my back pocket to be able to refer those services. So attorneys, same thing. Obviously we're at closing tables quite a bit. So, there's some area attorneys that, we can certainly refer to. And I don't know every attorney in every area, but I can certainly always ask around to my counterparts who have had also great experiences. So you want someone who can recommend servicers to you that can support your transaction. Only people we can't recommend really is appraisers. That's not something we can do. That's what the bank does, right? The bank hires out an appraiser to come out and appraise the property as we continue through the transaction. So that's not something I can recommend, but everyone else for the most part, yes. So another thing to consider is showing your showings, right? So obviously our goal is to get out there and start looking at houses. And so sometimes the property might come on sometime after midnight. I'm asleep. Clients text me sometimes and they'll say, hey, can we go out and see this property today, same day? Usually it works out. Now we have to understand the kind of market that we're in. We're in a fast-paced market. Property might come on today and it's under contract in 2 days. So that's kind of how things are working right now. But if it was more balanced of a market where, properties are, there's plenty out there, right? Plenty of options. And you might have more time. You might have a week or two sometimes, depending on the type of market. But this is a fast-paced market. So I am always cognizant of the fact that, gee, I looked up this property that my client wants to see and it looks really amazing. I have a good inkling as to whether that property is probably going to go quickly or not. But bottom line is, my goal is to certainly try to get you in there the same day if my schedule allows. I might already have some things blocked into that day that may or may not be able to work for you being able to get out there and see the house same day. But my goal is to, do the best I can in terms of what's reasonable. But bottom line is if you don't see the house that day, you'll see it at least within the next 24 hours. So don't you worry. I got you. Another thing to keep in mind is really you want something or someone who's going to be able to anticipate, right? Anticipate next steps. Again, you're not in the home buying process every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So you need someone who's going to be able to say, okay, as we get started, here's what you should expect. And this is what I do usually in my consultation calls. I kind of give clients a general overview, a high level overview of the process. Now, I understand that we can only retain but so much information, and this process in itself can be quite overwhelming. So I know you're not going to be able to retain everything that I'm saying, but that's okay because I am your person, right? So you want someone who is going to be able to be great at communicating what to expect up front, potentially, right? Now, as much as possible. Some things are going to happen beyond our control. So can we anticipate every single nook and cranny? No, it's not possible. No one can, right? Real estate is very unpredictable. So things are probably going to come up that we didn't even see coming, even the attorneys, right? So it's important to keep that in mind, but I like to give folks a general overview of a typical transaction, and then depending on the house you find, that might yield a whole new set of whole new animals. So keep that in mind, but you want someone who's kind of just giving you sort of this framework of like, here's how things work. And that's what I do with my clients up front. So another thing you want to keep in mind is, you want someone, again, who's going to sort of like be there to walk you through. Like I said, I don't expect anyone to remember everything that I tell you. You can only retain but so much information, but you want someone who's going to be cognizant of the fact that you're new at this. And you don't want someone who's going to lose patience and not have patience for you. So keep that in mind. I like to, what I consider, put myself in my client's shoes and really just understand that, you know what, they're going through this for the first time. And even if you bought 5 years ago, that was 5 years ago. So things change, and then also you don't remember half of the things that you had to do 5 years ago. So it's important to keep that in mind, that you want someone who's going to be patient with you. Another thing you want to consider is someone who can explain things to you. For instance, you're going to be signing things with the brokerage, whoever you choose to hire, but you're also going to be signing lender paperwork and attorney paperwork. So you always want to be sure that everyone in their capacities can explain things to you, explain those agreements to you so that you understand what you're signing. I always say read and then sign. Never just sign something you don't understand. So whether that's the brokerage agency agreements that you would be signing in order for me to take you on as a client, or like I said, your lender paperwork, there's going to be all sorts of things coming at you. So you're going to want to make sure you are really tapping into your team. Remember, I'm on your team, or whoever your agent is, but also your lender and your attorney. But you want to make sure that you are hiring people that is great at explaining things to you, because sometimes people can be a little jaded, and they're in their bubble every day and they understand things like the back of their hand, and they'll say things so quickly to you and you're like, wait, what? And so it's important that you have someone who can break things down the way you need them to be broken down. Okay. So another thing people, questions that, or a question that kind of comes around every now and then from buyers is, hey, tell me about the neighborhood. Is there crime here? Tell me about the demographics. Tell me about the schools. So we certainly have resources and data tools out there that actually the consumer has access to as well, that we will point you to when it comes to demographics and data. We are not able to say, okay, this is a certain neighborhood, this is a certain neighborhood, right? It's all about you getting the data so that you can make an informed decision. So an example of, hey, I want to live in a diverse neighborhood, right? Well, I'm not sure what you refer to as diverse. Maybe I have a different interpretation of that. So therefore, instead of me assuming anything and steering you, I want to make sure that you have the data to be able to decide on your own whether that's the right place for you. So it's important for me to, give you the data, the tools. You can also, if you want to know about crime statistics and things like that, some of that stuff is online, but you can also tap into the local police stations. So I can certainly point you in the direction of that to be able to get that data and make an informed decision for yourself. So I'm all about providing you, handing you, or pointing you to places where you can gain the information you need. So that's what it is. You want to make sure that that person is able to do that for you, okay? Because we don't want to get into fair housing issues or laws. So it's important that I do my job and do right by you and do it effectively within the confines of the law. And so therefore, plenty of data out there for you to be able to obtain for yourself. So you want to make sure that, you have someone overall that can really walk you through, that could really, be there for you from the beginning to the end. You're going to be going to inspections. There's going to be certain events where you might have to have some contractors come on and give you an opinion. You want someone who's going to be showing up for you even in those moments. Your walkthrough, which is your final walkthrough. You want someone who's going to be there with you, walking through the property, and not necessarily being ghost or putting it in someone else's hands that you didn't even know throughout the transaction, unless something, of course, unforeseen comes up for that agent and they just can't possibly be there. But you want someone who is an active participant in your transaction throughout the way. So that pretty much concludes some of the major things that you should be looking for in an agent. You want to make sure that that person has your best interest at heart, and I'm going to tell you, we are bound by that, right? So it is not about what we want, it's about what you, the client, want and need, right? So you want someone, even above communication, that's going to put your needs above theirs, right? So it's not about me, it's about you. And it's about you being armed with what you need to be able to get you going and ultimately getting the keys to your home. So I hope that you found this video helpful. And like I said, go ahead and subscribe, like, and hit that bell, because I'm going to be sharing with you more videos about all things real estate. even for my sellers. So I hope you are doing well and safe out there, and definitely look forward to meeting you all soon. Don't hesitate to reach out and for any questions that you might have if you're in the Connecticut market. If you're in other markets, I'll be happy to link you up with other agents. I am part of a sort of a global company, so pretty much anywhere you want to buy, I can definitely link you up with. So hope all is well. Take care, and until the next time, bye.